AI is no longer a futuristic idea. It's here, it's real, and it's transforming the way we do business every single day. From automating small tasks to unlocking new opportunities, artificial intelligence has gone from being a nice to have to an absolute game changer. In this episode, I'm joined by Mohan of Thinkrr.ai to explore how AI, especially voice AI, is becoming a powerful tool for real estate and service-based businesses. Whether you're a solo agent or scaling a national brand, the future is now and it's automated. Mohan, thank you so much for being here for this show today. I really appreciate it. I'm really excited about this one. Very interesting. How about you tell us a little bit about yourself and how you started Thinkrr.ai?
First of all, thank you, David, for having me here. It's an honor and a pleasure.
Thank you.
For those of you who don't know me, my name is Mohan Gulati. I'm the CEO and co-founder of Thinkrr.ai. We started Thinkrr.ai over a year and a half ago. We're in the world of AI, though, cutting edge. We've been leading the charge with voice AI. And the way it got started is actually quite an interesting story. I worked in IT for over 25 years and leading large companies, large portfolios, Fortune 100 companies, working in the boardroom, Starbucks, Nike, HP, those were the type of companies that I would constantly work with. Yeah. And one of the things that, was coming out of those meetings was nobody knew when ChatGPT came out exactly how to leverage this, how to use this. It was like a big unknown. And this opportunity gave to me, and I was like, you know what? I want to do something to help everybody. I want to democratize AI for all businesses. So that got me thinking. And I was late one October evening underneath the kitchen sink. We have a carburetor. Yeah. And this carburetor stopped working. And I don't know about you, but if a carburetor stops working, you can't use your sink. And my wife was like, go fix it. I am not a handyman. I am not somebody, give me a computer, give me some technology, I'll do that. But tell me to go and fix something. I should have called Inspect Canada, right? But I didn't have any clue how to do this. And so what I did is I went underneath and I did what everybody would do is find a YouTube video and try to follow the YouTube video. And then my imagination took over. And I was thinking, imagine I had a pair of glasses and I could look at this carburetor and it could tell me step by step what to do. And then it would analyze and it would know me, so it's personalized, and would say, no, Mohan, this is above your pay grade. You shouldn't be doing this. You should call somebody. And I would go, okay, cool. Who should I call? And it would say, well, there are these 5 people in the neighborhood who you could call. And this is person A, person B. And this person can come today, right now. This person can come in 3-4 hours. And this person can come only in another 2 or 3 days. And here are the various costs. Who would you like to proceed with? I would make my choice. It would say, great, confirm it for me, and then tell me, and this is all in my imagination at this point, and it would tell me, hey, no problem, this person is confirmed, it's going to cost you so much, do you authorize the payment? And I would say, with my voice, yes. And after I just had this whole vision of what you could do play out in my head, I was like, I got to make this happen. So I started on the mission of voice AI, and from there the birth of AI came. I started making the very first POCs. I did it myself. I kind of hacked around at it, figured out how to do it, and before you knew it, I started calling my friend Reza up, who is my CTO and co-founder, and I said, look, I got this crazy idea. What do you think? And he got on board, and Thinkrr was born.
Amazing. That's incredible, because when ChatGPT came out, I mean, it's a game changer out there. To me, it's the best tool ever. I mean, it's everything to me. It's actually a confidant as well. I tell ChatGPT everything, right? And ChatGPT knows me so well now.
Yeah.
She's my accountant, my doctor, my lawyer. Maybe it shouldn't be, but she makes all my agreements, all my contracts. She reviews all my contract people want me to sign.
Nice.
It has been a massive game changer for me. So when I learned about you guys, I wanted to learn more. I wanted I didn't want to be one of those guys 3 years later say, okay, let's get into it, because I've missed opportunities throughout my lifetime. I've missed the .com. I've missed a lot of stuff when I was right there and I didn't quite believe it. I missed the crypto. I missed so many things, and I was thinking, you know what, this time I'm not missing on this. I want to be right at the forefront of it. You know, I want to follow it. I want to know like what's coming next, and I want to be there before everybody else. And then so that's why when I heard about you guys, I really wanted to get into it. And as you know, I'm highly invested now. It has been a massive game changer for us.
I think one of the things that you said that really resonated with me right now is like, I missed opportunities, right? And I think that mindset is interesting in many different ways. First of all, AI is not going to take anybody's job away. It's the people who are learning AI and using AI that's going to take your job away. Businesses that adopt AI are going to stay ahead of the curve. They're going to be the businesses that leapfrog the competitors. And those that choose not to will be left in the dust. It's just it's inevitability. But what's even more unique about this and why this is so critical right now is every now and then there comes a moment where there's a shift. It's not just like a new technology, a new wave or a fad or anything like that. It's a shift. AI is going to be a complete shift in how we do things.
Well, when the internet came out, that was a massive shift there. That changed everything, right?
The internet is a fantastic example of something. The mobile phone is another major shift. But even if you go back, like the radio was a
electricity was a pretty big game changer right there.
Electricity is really a good example. A lot of people compare electricity to AI because when electricity came out, they used to talk about how, even like how they used to set up factories, right? They used to had them all set up in offices and they were done in a way that was, but now you had that one machine that you could plug in that could use electricity. You had to reorganize how everything did. It was a major shift. And then all of a sudden you found it easier and easier. And all these different types of businesses started to emerge. People that made plug sockets, right? People that made wires, people that started to make different types of machines that used electricity. It was a shift. It was a major change. And that's what's happening with AI. AI is of the same parallel, like the same kind of, we're going to see a massive shift in society as a result of it.
It looks like there has been a lot of investment put on AI. I mean, there's AI everything, right? I've tried Leonardo.ai, which is really cool. There's AI everything out there, but you guys specialize in AI voices.
Correct. Yeah. So from the thing that everything when we talk about AI is all foundational based on something called a large language model.
And ChatGPT is one of those language models, right?
ChatGPT is an example of a large language model. You'll hear lots of names, ChatGPT, you'll hear Gemini, you'll hear Anthropic Cloud. Like there's every major technology company has invested and built something, and there's those in the the open source world as well. If you look at Meta, Facebook, right? They have their own Llama model that's integrated inside your Instagram or inside your WhatsApp, right? Where you can talk to it. These are large language models. You can talk to them, they'll respond back to you. But adding voice on top of it adds a whole new element. And making that voice human-like and making the conversation human-like. Now that's where Thinkrr comes out of. That's our vision. And we see a world where this is plug and play, where businesses don't have to learn the complexities of how to build these things up, but rather can just insert them into their existing processes or add new processes, but it's all done very simply. You don't need to go and learn a ton of things. It's just how easy can we make this to do that? So that's our mission, to make plug and play AI solutions for businesses.
I mean, as a business owner, I'm wearing so many hats, right?
Yes.
And I don't want to. When I looked into it, if it'd be slightly overwhelming, I'd be out. You see, that would have killed me right there, and then I would go into something else because I've got other things to worry about, right? But the fact that you guys made it so simple, like you said, the base of it is already smart through languages like ChatGPT and all that. It's really just to add some customization to it to make it more for our own business, right?
Yeah, so it comes down to understanding that I want to get something done. and that these are kind of repeatable and rinsable processes that you want to do. And the way that I think about this and the way that we've built this is that I want to book an appointment. I want to qualify users on that appointment. These are natural conversations that we have in business all the time. Follow up, right? So this is where we just started to identify where in businesses there's these common, repeatable types of use cases for conversation, right? And applying AI means that it can intelligently handle that. And then that's our secret sauce. That's what we started building and made that super, super easy to rinse and repeat.
So there's an inbound agent and an outbound agent. So an inbound is when someone calls in, and an outbound it's an agent that follows up or reach out to somebody, right?
So there are so many different ways that you can kind of break that down. But in terms of classifying, yes, and I would add a third one.
Yeah, the web widget.
The web widget, right?
Yeah. So we do have the web widget on our website.
Yeah.
It didn't take me very long to set that up, really. Within a few hours, pretty much, I was all set up, especially that ChatGPT knows everything about our business. So I was able to ask ChatGPT to pretty much pull all that information for us. And then I uploaded it in your system, and we'll show an example or a few examples of that in very shortly here. But the web widget that we have on our website, now we went from having a brochure into a smart website that can now engage with our visitors, give them accurate information, try to pick up their contact information so we can follow up on them.
Correct.
And people have been using it, and they're loving it. Everybody's very positive about it.
Cool.
And I love the fact that not only people can interact with it, but there's a record of it. Like I can even hear it. It's recorded. So I can see if the person was, in what kind of mood, how did they feel about the agent? Did they feel it was weird, or did they not understand it, or did it ask weird questions, right? So I can look into it and then make my AI agent better if I find areas where I can tweak it a little bit.
Yes, and we've given you the tools to do that, right? So that's part of the platform is like you can test and tweak and do all that. So you know David he's pushing it to the perimeter and telling us great ideas and how it can help him grow his business. And I think one of the things, David, that I can tell you, you have the inbound, you have the web widget. They're actually very much tied together, right? We made the web widget basically 2 clicks from what you've done. So once you've got your inbound call working well, your receptionist or your sales coach or whatever it is that you're building, you can then click a couple buttons and then take that and put that onto your website. Yeah. And we have many, many things that we're working on that's going to make it even easier to do that.
I thought I would take maybe a second and show them how our web widget work on our website. So I'm just going to go to my website right now. So if you go to inspect.ca, and you'll see the screen right here, and you go on the top corner and it says ask me anything. So let's click on it. Let's see what happens.
Welcome to Inspect Canada. I'm Hannah. I'm here to help you. May I know your name?
Yes, my name is David.
Thank you, David. How can I assist you today? Are you looking to book an inspection, or do you have any questions about our services?
We have an accepted offer. I'm looking to buy a townhouse that is 1,200 square feet.
Thanks for sharing that, David. For a townhouse inspection of 1,200 square feet, the starting price is $525. Since your townhouse is under 1,500 square feet, this would be the applicable rate. Would you like me to gather your contact information so the office can follow up and assist you further?
Well, they also had water damage in that unit in the past. Do you suggest we do a mold inspection, or do you actually provide mold inspection?
Yes, David, we do provide mold inspections. Every home inspection includes a free visual mold inspection where we look for signs of mold, musty smells, water damage, or past leaks. However, if you'd like a more detailed analysis, we offer air quality testing for mold as an optional service. For example, $450 for 1 indoor sample and 1 exterior control sample, $500 for 2 indoor samples and 1 exterior control sample. Additional samples are $100 each, covering roughly 700 square feet per sample. Lab results are provided within 48 business hours, and we also include a report with interpretation help from the inspector. If you're in a hurry, we can expedite the results for an extra $75. Given the history of water damage, a mold inspection might be a good idea for peace of mind. Would you like me to pass this information to the office so they can assist you further?
Well, how much would that be altogether?
For a townhouse inspection of 1,200 square feet, the cost starts at $525. If you add a mold inspection with one indoor sample and one exterior control sample, it would be $450. Together, the total would be $975. If you prefer 2 indoor samples and 1 exterior control sample for the mold inspection, the cost would be $500, making the total $1,025. Would you like me to pass this information to the office so they can assist you further or answer any additional questions?
No, actually, yeah, if you could please have the office reach out to me right away, that'd be amazing.
Of course, David. Could you please provide your contact information so the office can reach out to you? I'll need your phone number and email address to ensure they can get in touch promptly.
Yes, my phone number is 778-683-7147, and my email is david@asselin.ca, and it's ASSELIN.ca.
Thank you, David. Let me confirm your details to ensure everything is correct. Your phone number is 778-683-7147. Your email address is david@asselin.ca, spelled as DAVID@ASSELIN.ca. Is that all correct?
Yes, that's correct. Thank you.
You're very welcome, David. I'll pass along your information to the office, and they'll reach out to you as soon as possible to assist with your townhouse and mold inspection needs. Is there anything else I can help you with today?
No, that would be it. Thank you for your help.
You're very welcome, David. Thank you for reaching out to Inspect Canada. Have a great day.
And then now if someone at midnight has a questions, they want to know about pricing, they want to know what's included, and we can ask a lot more than that. We can ask, what do you guys check inside these inspections? How do you inspect the appliances? How do you inspect the windows? Do you go in the attic? Do you look at the roof? Why are you guys the highest rated home inspection company in Canada? How do you provide how about radon gas? And it will explain everything, how it gets into houses and all that. It can talk about our high shield protection plan, our annual maintenance inspection, and about smalljobs.ca. It's got all the information in there. So, we're saving time at the office. We're not getting as many questions in, and we're pushing a lot of really accurate information out there.
Well, that's very important, because when you have a human do that, they have to have access to all the information. Sometimes they get the facts. AI knows it. It's trained. Once you do it once and set it up, it will always respond with the right information, right? So that's one of the key benefits. And the other thing is, it answers the call 24 hours, 7 days a week, like you just said, 365 days of the year, right?
Because one of the issue is when they call the office with this and we're talking to these people, someone might want to call at the near the same time who wants to book an inspection.
Correct. Yeah.
And the problem that we have in the home inspection industry is that most clients get 3 names by their real estate agent, and they don't want to book 3 weeks from now. They want to book for tomorrow.
Yeah.
So if we don't pick up the phone, they're not going to take the chance that I'll wait that they call me back to tell me that possibly they cannot do it, and now so they it happens so many times. We call 3 minutes later, and they had already booked with somebody else.
Do you know what the estimated average loss for small to medium-sized businesses because they don't pick up the phone when somebody calls?
It's gonna be big.
It's $125K a year. That's the average. So some people are on the vicinity of 500,000, some are on the vicinity of 25,000, right? Depends on your business, but the average is 125. Imagine that. And you multiply that by all of the businesses out there. Now, just by adding a simple web widget to your website, or adding it as a phone number that comes in and answers. The same widget that you have there can be the same phone attached to the same phone number, right?
Well, and I have it. It's on my phone as well. Because what happened too is when I started the business, my personal phone number was the main phone number, right? So even though we're years later now, we changed that years ago, we still get tons of people reaching me out, right? And so, and again, if I don't pick up the phone, it could be lost business right there. But also, it can forward these clients to the office. So my agent says, hey, if you're looking to book an inspection, I can forward you to the office directly, and then boom, this is done.
Bingo.
And then if it's just somebody who wants to say hello or whatever, he'll take a message, he'll tell them you can text David, or they can even book a 15 minutes over Calendly with me. So there's all kinds of possibilities out there for this, right?
I mean, one of the things that the way you set this up is you've asked to collect the information. One of the things that we can do also is just book the appointment with you right there on the call. So we have access to your calendar, right? It can be your team calendar, it can be your personal calendar. It could be specifically for when you have slots available for agents to go on sites. So for businesses, this is unlimited. And we made it this way because we wanted to make, again, some of my clients, they'll go to bed and they'll wake up in the morning and their calendar's full of meetings. And they're like, this never used to happen. And they're spending their time in those real conversations or in those real transactional moments where they can create relationships. And I think that's really a fundamental thing, because a lot of people say, oh, I don't know, AI, it's not human-like, it's taking away from the experience. It's actually not. What it's doing is actually creating opportunities for more time with your clients, because you're effectively not spending that time that you would before on the phone, right? Booking meetings, following up, answering basic questions that people have. You now have the AI do that. And the conversations, I joke about this, but the AI is the worst it'll ever be. It's only getting better.
It's getting better and better and better,
every
right?
single day. I mean, our agents are learning. They're training. They're hearing the conversations and understanding themselves how to make them better. Of course, all kept within the vicinity of your kind of ecosystem, so it doesn't go out. But the fact that it will know what your clients are asking. It will understand that and be able to optimize the response based on how previous responses went, right?
And I think part of the idea, for us anyways, it's not to pretend that it is a real person, right? Because she introduced herself right away. I'm David's personal AI assistant, right? And when they call the office, I'm Hannah, I'm Inspect Canada AI assistant, and I'm here to gather information, right?
And here's the thing, there's 8.2 billion people in the world, and I've said this to you before, there's going to be 8.4 billion voice agents in the world by the end of 2025. More than the human population, right? Yeah. So what does that mean? That means that more people are going to interact and would have interacted with a voice agent, which means that the level of comfort and the way that people do business is actually increasing. In fact, more than 40% of people that have been surveyed said when calling their dentist office, for example, they'd rather talk to a voice agent than to the dentist receptionist, because they don't feel fearful of having to cancel the appointment or to reschedule it, right? Yeah. So it's just one of these things that you kind of start understanding. If you understand these things, understand where things are going, how you can optimize it for your business.
No, and it's a good point too, because I'm French Canadian and I've learned English, right? And there were a time in my life where I knew I wasn't that great at it, and I almost tried to avoid talking to people, right? So I wouldn't mind sounding weird in front of an AI, but those are all great points. And so how because real estate agents out there, everybody's marketing to these people. That's what I'm doing right here as well. I mean, there's a million people calling these guys on a daily basis, sending them a million emails. And then so I find that very often you call real estate agents and they don't even pick up the phone.
No.
It's like if it doesn't say mom on the phone, they just don't pick it up. And I'm thinking, and I fully understand, 95% of the time, it'll be some system out there who's trying to sell them on something.
Yeah.
But you can also have your AI dealing with all this solicitation coming from all over the place.
Well, I think it's exactly the business case that you just talked about. There's a lot of advertising also, and marketing money that real estate agents will spend, right? And those calls will come in based on that. That's a great effective campaign, right? But if you don't pick up the phone at that time, maybe because, you know what? They're not picking up because they're getting so many calls, right? And you're going to take one call at a time. With AI, you can have as many incoming calls as you want, and each one will be answered, right? So in other words, you're not losing the opportunity. You're able to actually answer these calls. And I think it's about working smarter, not harder. And with voice AI, that's what you can achieve. And you'll capture the leads. They will appropriately either book a meeting with you, or you'll be able to come back to them and respond to them. But they will feel like they are worth something. Like they're call, and they're not going to call the next person. They're not going to have to wait. You know, one of the things is when I was looking for my property and I saw something that I wanted to purchase, for me, what was really important in that experience is like knowing that it was still available, knowing that I didn't miss out on that opportunity. And when you call in, that's what you're kind of looking for, right? Oh, I love this house. The wife and I spent hours looking at it online. We love this house. Okay, great. Call the agent. The agent doesn't pick up. In fact, the agent doesn't call back for another 48 hours. That's a horrible experience. And I've had that happen to me multiple times. And I know others have as well. So that experience can be totally mitigated because now you can have somebody respond right away. Even provide, if you have featured listings, provide, feedback on that, and then be able to take them into a world where they can feel like they're going to get a response. You can even say, yeah, you know what, that property is still very much available. There's actually an open house this weekend for that property. Would you like to come by? And take the name down, pencil it in, so that you can call them before the open house. So this is the system, right? When you start looking at voice AI and looking at how to use it, it's a system. You have to think through the flows. Yes, somebody calls in, they see an ad, you've taken their name, number, you've invited them to the open house because you've told the AI that there's an open house this weekend. They've captured that lead. Guess what you can do the day of the open house? 2 or 3 hours before. Hey, just want to remind you there's an open house. You can come. Everybody who came in as a lead can get that call automatically as an outbound call and been invited back into it. We call that the event confirmation or appointment reminder, either which one that you want to do, depending on how you set it up. That's very powerful. We do webinars all the time to educate people, and this has increased the show up rate from like what used to be like 25% up to like 65 to 70%.
Anybody doing events should have one of those triggered a few hours before, right?
Absolutely, yeah. It's like a no-brainer, and it's no effort, right, to do it. It's super easy. Our, again, a framework that we use, we call them scenarios, and they're really, really easy to set up and create. And you can just tailor it to like, oh, this one is, the open house for this property, or this is for this live webinar, and just give it the new name, the new time and date, and reuse the same thing. Right? So it's like super easy to deploy that. You have all your contacts in there, or all your list of people that you have who come into your pipeline, and it just goes automatically.
Because one of the things that kind of sold me on the system when we started too is that you do have a small fee if people need some help with this.
Yes.
Right? Like an onboarding fee, right?
Well, what we feel is like we've done a lot of work to make this absolutely, anybody who's a self-learner and has some technology background and wants to set this up can get started with that and learn it. And we have many clients that do that. But we also recognize that people are busy, that they have a lot to get done and they just want a little bit of extra hand-holding for a very nominal fee. We've set that up, and that allows them to get going for the whole time they work with us. Right? We have that constant contact. We intensely set you up in the beginning of your month when you're with us. And then as you continue that journey, we're constantly, you work with us. How has it been?
Well, we're using a home inspection software that's not overly friendly to pull information out of it. So Andrew, who's been working with me, has been working even with the software developer to find a way so that we know when we have a new inspection, who's the agent, so there can be follow-up and all that. I would have never been able to do that on my own. And also this would have discouraged me. It would be, I'd just be doing something else right now. But and that's the thing, when we get busy, I want to delegate as much as possible, right? And, but through this help, now I know how to do it.
Now you've learned it, right?
So I'm not dependent on Andrew anymore,
That's
right?
That's the entire idea.
Because I don't want to have to pay Andrew forever, right? Eventually I want to be, this is how you do it, and I always have a million questions, and then he replies. So now I can do most of this all by myself.
That's amazing.
So that's why I thought that for this fee that you guys charge there, It was totally worth it.
Yeah.
And I wasn't arguing, and I was like, yeah, I'll take this too, right? Because I know I've tried other things before that I've got discouraged on because it was, Salesforce, for example. This thing that I'm going there, boom, I've paid 2-3 times to get onto the system. It's just so overwhelming to me that I'm just out. I just can't do it, right? So now I use some very simple thing, right?
We recognize that, and the world that we're going into will be one where it'll be very, very simple. I haven't, for me, I want to put Andrew inside the app. I want you to come into the app and have an Andrew that can respond to you,
Absolutely,
that can help you and guide you. And we're working on that, David. That's our big thing this year that we're working on, is to make it that simple and that plug and play. In the meanwhile, we have people, like you said, who can help you to get started, right?
But, like right now as well, like we use a virtual assistant from the Philippines to reach out to people on LinkedIn, replying to posts on Instagram and stuff like this. And now if they have any questions, they can ask our AI agent.
Absolutely.
Because people reply on their posts, right? And they say, oh yeah, do you guys offer this? And then they send me a text, hey, do you guys offer this? Now they can just go to the AI and ask, right?
Yeah.
So the AI is also a teacher for our VAs.
Yep.
Right.
The other thing that's really important, because I was kind of thinking about the real estate agent, world, is like when you get a lead, what's the most important thing is, let's say you put an ad on Google or Facebook or even some type of community where you're advertising, they call in, or they even fill out a form online, which is the way a lot of these kind of things. Here's a property I want, fill out this information. We can now set it up so that within 60 seconds of them hitting submit on that form, they're getting a call back from your AI agent saying, hey, we saw that you expressed interest in this property. Would you like to come in and see it? Would you like to book a meeting with the real estate agent? Or do you have any other questions about the property that I can answer you on? That can all be done within 6 seconds, and it's called lead to speed. And it's a huge opportunity to do that, right? And you don't have to man the phones, you don't have to be watching the form. That's an automation that we do. So the world of automation and AI together unlocks tremendous business growth. And of course, if you respond to them right away, there's nothing more powerful than that, because it's right in the front of their, cortex. They're thinking about this right now, right?
Yeah.
It's front and center. And that impact is massive. It's just massive. I've seen our own business, when we respond to people right away and we do that, people are like totally impressed, and they're getting into a meeting right away to get their answers to their questions. They're not looking around for the next property or for the next business that does what I do. They're immediately engaged with me because I respond to them right away.
Yeah, so right now, when someone books an inspection, we have a follow-up right away to introduce Hannah to them and say, hey, I'm Hannah. I noticed you just booked an inspection. I wanted to introduce myself, to thank you so much for, working with us. Do you have any questions, right? So, and then they often have questions they forgot to ask. Oh yeah, do you guys look for this? Or when am I going to get the report? Am I allowed to be there during the inspection? And so these are all
these general questions, right, that they keep on asking. Yeah.
So people have been very positively responding to this.
Yeah.
And now they know Hannah. So when the inspection is done, if she follows up and say, hey, how was your inspection? They know her already, right?
I want to ask you something. So how many calls do you get in a day where somebody's trying to sell you something?
Well, I have call control, so it's been a lot better.
It's been a lot better.
But yeah, no, I mean, Yelp will call me at least 3 times a day.
So I mean, solicitation is part of the business, right? People will get calls. You can now have your AI also filter that out, right? We're working with solar companies that get tons and tons of calls like this. And now they don't have to take those calls anymore. They're all kind of filtered out for them, right? So there's multiple use cases that a single versatile agent can handle. It's not like it can only handle one thing. It can handle multiple things at the same time, just like somebody who's a human being can.
So now for real estate agents, what does that all mean?
I mean, it's a system. It's a complete system from end to end, from you getting prospects to having to follow up with the prospects, to like coordinating times to when you have to meet with them, to open house follow-ups, to like I've even mapped out journeys where they've purchased a property and once they purchase a property, they have a ton of questions. a lot of those questions are pretty basic stuff that they can get immediate answers for whatever they want to. Of course, we can do call transfer too. So they say, no, you know what, I think I didn't get my answer here. I want to actually talk to the live agent. It can transfer it live to that live agent too.
Or they could use a web widget on their website and say, hey, how do we move the utility overs? And how do we, how do I set up the gas in here now? Or, and because, most homeowners, especially if they go from a condo to something bigger, they got no clue how things are working.
So let me tell you something. Every business, and this includes real estate agents, once they've completed the transaction, what's the most important thing to do? Is to grab the feedback and get that, if it's a positive feedback, hopefully you've done a great job, get that onto your Google review, get people to give you positive feedback, whether you're collecting that and putting that just on your website. There's so many benefits to that. And guess how many people do that?
Not very many, I suppose.
Not very many. In fact, less than 20% of people follow up afterwards. It's incredible.
And I've done it.
This is a lot of work, right? You're on to the next win, the next deal that you're trying to close. Who's got time to collect that information?
Or even, doing marketing and getting leads and not following up on the leads. This is like, we would sponsor a real estate event. I would get like 200 business cards and they're still in the box. It's like, so.
Yeah, so we have prepared, out of the box, a couple, so we're investing heavily into the real estate niche. We feel that there's a huge opportunity for voice AI and real estate. And we've already created 2 outbound specific callers for that, and we're adding more all the time. These are all experimental in the sense that these are actually being used right now by real estate agents, right? And then of course we built, and I can show you that today if you want, David, an actual receptionist for a real estate agent as well.
Yeah, I would love to see her.
Yeah.
Because what happened is, like real estate agents, I consider them professional salespeople.
100%.
Like all the education that they're taking, everything they're listening, it's all about sales. Grant Cardone and how to close and how to follow up and all. And they have 1 million people selling them 1 million different programs onto just making more money, right?
Yeah.
But so here, let's take a look at that solution that you have for real estate agent.
Okay. Should we focus first on the outbound?
Sure, let's do it.
Let's do that. All right. So I'm going to start from scratch. So this is the home screen of our software called Ava. This is the platform that we call a Voice AI Studio. And there are different types of agents you can create. You can create an inbound agent, or you can create what we call an outbound project, which is essentially you being able to formulate the content that you want to execute for calling multiple people. So creating a campaign. So in particular here, we have a library of different scenarios that we've created. For the real estate niche, we have, I'll just filter by tags, we've got these 2 scenarios right now. One is called the real estate market engagement, and one is called the real estate interest qualifier scheduler. In both of these cases, the real estate market engagement will call somebody up, and we'll show you how that works first, and then we'll go into the qualifier. We do both, David, and then we can decide how to proceed with it. So this real estate market engagement, I'm just going to click that. I'm going to give this a simple name, any project I'm creating. So outbound real estate market engagement. Maybe I'm doing it for a certain area. So maybe I'm going to do it for an area called Guildwood. I used to live in Guildwood, right? And you go save the project. Okay. So now, this is the most complicated piece, is figuring out what to put into these fields. I've actually prepped ahead of time for this, so I've got an example that we can just use. I'm just gonna say, so the name of my real estate industry is called Sunshine Realty. I'm obviously making up things. The prospect neighborhood, we just called it Guildwood, right? So we'll just put Guildwood. And then we'll even say this is in Scarborough, Ontario, right? The representative name, I like the name Jordan Brown. That's the name of the agent. And then we give it a number. This number can be 515.
And that Jordan Brown, that'd be the real name of the real estate agent setting this up.
Correct. So what's happening here is exactly what you said. we're always transparent that this is a voice AI agent that's calling, and this is who it's representing. It's representing
So she's
Jordan
calling
Brown.
on behalf of Jordan Brown.
Correct, and Jordan Brown is the real estate agent, okay? So what's the market trend? Well, the market trend is, I just like this one because it's really easy to understand. It's a 10% increase in home values around your neighborhood in the past year. All right, so it's an interesting trend. We're calling out, we're prospecting to see if people are actually interested potentially in selling their home based on this information. So everything else is pretty standard. The 30-minute duration for the standard call. You can offer a 15-minute conversation.
So this is trying to book a meeting with Jordan.
This is trying to book a meeting with Jordan. So it's going to call. It's going to say, hey, would you like to gather more information about, homes? This is what we've realized, that there's a 10% increase. Would you like to learn more about what's happening in your market?
If yes, let's book a meeting.
And it tries to book a meeting. This particular agent will also gauge the interest level of just going on to a nurture list as well. So we built this into it already. So if it says, yes, I'm not interested in meeting right now, but I don't mind being put on your nurture list, that's a great way of keeping people warm. Sometimes for real estate agents, somebody on their list for the last, 1 to 18 months, and the fact that you're following up with them regularly and giving them information, when they're ready,
You're in their mind.
You're in their mind, they're getting information, you're staying top of mind, right? The other really cool feature here is you can connect it to the calendar. We connect integrated into calendar systems, whether it's a Gmail calendar, whether it's your Outlook calendar, whether it's using Calendly. We provide a way of connective tissue through a CRM that allows you to connect directly to us.
And if they have a very specific calendar through their CRM system, they'll use KV Core, they'll use other real estate related ones.
All of these systems that they use they're all underlying using something like a Google Calendar. So through our software, we synchronize with that Google Calendar. So whether it's in the KV Core system, whether it's in HubSpot, whether it's in GHL, whichever the system is that you're using, you now have it all in that backbone system.
And if they're afraid it might be hard for them to set it up, the onboarding would take
That's
care
where
of
we
that.
can help you with that, exactly. This is a really cool feature, is that you can actually leave a bespoke voicemail message. Because guess what? People don't always pick up the phone, do they, David?
No.
But now you can leave them a message. And I've seen lots of strategies on how people use this. But they do leaving a voicemail, I absolutely encourage it. Because if you leave something and you pique their interest and you're creative in how you leave that message, you can do that. And you'll see here's a standard one that we put in here. It's very simple, but I like to just build something that's always kind of custom for each one. So I just got this here. I'm going to copy that over and just put that in here. So we'll probably not, see that here, but I highly recommend you do that. And now I'm going to introduce this idea of a campaign. Now, campaign is where you get to pick the voice that you like to play with. So we've got tons of different languages that you can pick: French, German, Portuguese, Russian, Chinese, Dutch, Korean. There's 13 different languages here.
Do you foresee a near future where, if the person that they're talking to would prefer a French language, that it could switch over?
Yeah, so what David's talking about is the ability to have a multilingual agent, right? Absolutely, it's coming. In fact, we're working on our first one, which is English and Spanish together.
Okay.
Right?
Nice.
So this is something that is inevitable, but it's going to be more than just one or two languages. The world we're heading into is like, it can speak any language.
Because it's so multicultural. Like there's so many people from all over the place here, right?
Yeah, exactly. So we can also pick out a voice. We have lots of different voices here. So I can pick out, Christina, and I can just...
Would you drop the call if you heard me on the phone?
Right.
Didn't think so. That's why I'm the top choice to keep your business in motion.
Lots of different voices. I tend to find people like the female voices. I go with Marissa. That's kind of my go-to. And now you can give it any name as well. You don't have to. If you don't give it a name, it'll call herself Marissa. But let's say it's called Lisa. So when she calls, she'll introduce herself as Lisa, the virtual assistant, calling on behalf of Jordan Brown, right? And in this particular case, I am binding it to a phone number. These numbers we give you actually for free, a number that you can use. But you can also add as many numbers as you want.
And there's tons of 778s here for local people, right? So it doesn't have to be some weird number.
So this is my first campaign, and maybe this campaign is, I'm just calling Upper Guildwood, right? So these are all of my prospects in the Upper Guildwood area. There could be a Lower Guildwood, there could be, I know they happen to be these places because I live there, so I know these exist. And I click on this, and I click on Save Campaign. And again, it adds from your CRM. You can add the contacts in there, click on them. You can also add tags, filter, create different segments. All of that is possible.
And again, they could import that from their real estate CRM system that they use.
You could also just do it from a CSV file, a simple spreadsheet, and add them into here as well. So even if you just want to straight up, I only want you to call these people, I don't want to even touch any other system, you can do that as well. Now, here's where it gets interesting, is like I want to hear the conversation. I want to role play with it to hear how it goes. We've created a test campaign feature, which allows you to actually test the campaign. So here it's going to call me. I've set myself up already as the person that's going to call. I'm going to actually fool it. I'm going to say I'm not Mohan. I'm going to say I'm a different person.
Hello, this is Lisa calling. Am I speaking with Mohan?
Actually, no. This is Mohan's cousin, Don.
Thank you, Don. I'm Lisa, a virtual assistant calling on behalf of Sunshine Reality. Is Mohan available to speak, or would you like me to leave a message?
No, I'll take it because he's not available right now.
All right, Don. Thank you for taking the call. I wanted to introduce myself. I'm an AI assistant calling on behalf of Sunshine Reality. Is this a good time for a brief chat?
Sure. Yeah, I don't mind talking.
Great. Thank you, Dawn. As I mentioned, I'm an artificial intelligence system designed to connect you with valuable real estate information. I'm reaching out because our data shows some interesting trends in the Guildwood, Scarborough, Ontario real estate market. Are you curious about property values in that area?
I actually am, yeah.
That's great to hear, Don. Our recent analysis shows a 10% increase in home values in the Guildwood neighborhood over the past year. Would you be interested in a brief, no-obligation meeting with Jordan Brown, one of our human real estate experts, to discuss this further?
Yeah, maybe. It's just, I'm not really looking right now. Maybe a different time, but I can let Mohan know as well. But is there a way you can just put me on an email list or something like that I can just learn the information as it goes on?
Absolutely, Don. I can add you to our mailing list so you can stay updated on properties and market trends in the Guildwood area. Could you please confirm the best email address for us to use?
My email address is donbrown@gmail.com.
Thank you, Don. I'll make a note to add you to our mailing list using the email address donbrown@gmail.com. You'll start receiving updates about the real estate market trends soon. Is there anything else I can assist you with today?
Nope, that was it. Thank you so much.
Thank you for your time, Don. If you have any questions or need assistance in the future, feel free to reach out to us at 515-777-9797. Have a great day.
So the reason why I like this one is because it does multiple things, right? It really reaches out, piques interest, it's very transparent, right? Said I'm an artificial intelligence system. So people actually don't mind speaking to it, right? Because they know now that I'm speaking to somebody who can answer information for me and it's not a real human, so I'm not scared of saying whatever's on their mind, right? So I could say, no, you know what, I actually don't want to meet. But I don't mind if you can send me information because I might move in the area, right? So that kind of creates a different trust and a different kind of comfort level with what information they'll share, right? So in this case, now this person's going to be put onto their email list.
And and now you do have a recording of all this
yes,
record,
okay.
right?
So the next one that we're going to create now a receptionist. All right, I'm going to show you how to do that. So that's the agents up here. And I'm just going to share one of the things that we didn't talk about before, which is how do you add phone numbers? We have 2 phone numbers attached to the system. Anytime you want to add another phone number, you can either get them from Twilio or you can click on get a new phone number here, click on set up number. We talked about the 778 number, right? And you just click on search. Boom, tons of numbers and you can choose whichever one you'd like. So for example, if I like, What's a good number, David?
Well, one from West Van, maybe right there.
That one, 9073146. Perfect. Let's pick that up. Click on next step. And now that is the number I will choose. Boom. So now it's added to your system automatically. And you can use that for setting up a new inbound receptionist. Okay? So the way you do that, you go back to the home screen. You click on add a new agent. So here you're presented with the option. You can present it on the phone, on the web, or you can do it from both the phone and the web. I'm going to do it from both right now. Actually, you know what? I'm just going to do it on the phone. I'm going to show you this actually step by step. So when it comes to the receptionist, you'll see that you have different roles. You can also choose an inbound agent to be a sales coach. We're going to focus on the receptionist for this one. And again, all the languages are available here as well. If you select a certain accent, let's say you like the British accent, it will filter out what voices work with that accent very easily. If you pick, something from New Zealand, we've got even that. Even to the point where we've added Southern accents as well to the system.
Yeah, I heard it. They're funny ones.
They're pretty cool, yeah. I mean, if you want to hear any of them, you can just click
Looking
on
for some sunshine? I've got you covered.
Right, so it can be a lot of fun. We'll go back to, again, my just tried and tested voice that I always default to, which is Marissa. And we've actually defaulted her because we like her so much. And the other option that you have here is the number. So it's auto-selected that number because there's no other agent that's assigned to that number. So I'm going to click on that agent. There you go. So I've got this prepared here. This is the screen where you have all of these different configuration fields to fill in. And I already prepared this for this call. So I'm just going to go into my inbound receptionist. The first thing is, how does it answer the call? So this is where you can do a lot of role playing. And I just come in here and put this down. Thank you for calling. I'm from company name. My name is the agent name. So it'll be, in this case, Marissa, the team's virtual assistant. How can I assist you with your real estate needs today? Fantastic. Introduction text is optional. Think of things like where you want to say all these calls will be recorded for security reasons, right? This is like an introduction text that you might put out there. The representative name, again, we'll just use Jordan Brown. This is, again, the real estate agent, right? And then the company name, we can pick any. I think I picked one here. I called it Royal LePage, right? Okay, now the information to gather. I have set this up, and I'm going to show you this here, so it can do different things. It can handle when the caller wants to book for a showing or consultation. These are the types of questions that it'll ask. It will have qualification criteria. It will have different instructions on what to do if it's not qualified, how to handle it before the booking, all of this. Since I've done this before, we provide these templates to anybody who wants, so they can just get started and then they tweak it themselves. Go into here, boom. And then the key information. So the key information is, you see nothing's here, right? So this is where I would go to my website, right? Let's say I'm a Royal LePage real estate company. Not now. And I want to start picking up information about myself here, right? And I'm an investor, a real estate agent. I'd be able to come in here and get that information. And there's lots of different ways you can do this. I just love using AI to get the information. So we'll go to an AI and extract that information about Royal LePage and do that way. So we'll just do a quick example. Actually, I'll use a different tool because everybody goes to ChatGPT, right? That's where they all go. I love going to Perplexity for extracting information. Provide me key information for a voice agent that can speak about Royal LePage as a real estate firm. There we go. So it will go out, it'll get some relevant information. It'll tell about the organization. Of course, this can all be customized and tailored to Jordan Brown if he has his own website. Boom. This information is what we call key information that we put into this field so that AI now knows about your business, all right? And then the goal of this agent, we set that up here, is to create a warm and informed first impression, all right? Understand clear caller intent, buy, sell, or browse, qualify for a consultation meeting, route urgent messages if needed, and disqualify softly if qualified, all right? And then give a little bit of voice agents. Let's take that and again, put that into the bot. And now this is the interesting thing. Let's say I want to actually allow it to book a meeting. I can go into here, create a booking meeting as well, or I can go back into call transfer. And I can also create a call transfer and forward the number to them as well. I can also notify the representative as well and create a notification for that as well.
And this would be an email that they receive?
This would be an email. You put in the email that you want to receive. So every time a call happens, you'll be notified about that. And we're going to go test agent.
Thank you for calling Royal LePage Coastal Realty. My name is Marissa, the team's virtual assistant. How can I assist you with your real estate needs today?
Yeah, I just saw an ad on your website for a property that I might be interested in. Can I speak to somebody about that, please?
Thank you for your interest. I'd be happy to assist you. May I ask for the address or any details about the property you're referring to? This will help me provide the best assistance or guide you to the right person.
To be honest with you, I was just driving by. It was quick down. I was down in the White Rock area, and I saw it up there on the Oxford Avenue. Can't remember the exact address. Could you maybe look that up? Or maybe you can provide that information and tell me which properties you have listed?
Thank you for sharing that. Unfortunately, I don't have direct access to property listings or specific details about properties. However, Jordan Brown, our real estate agent, would be the best person to provide you with detailed information about the property on Oxford Avenue or any other listings in the White Rock area. Would you like me to arrange for Jordan to get in touch with you, or perhaps schedule a consultation to discuss your interest further?
Absolutely, yeah. I'd like to, if you can do that today, that would be great.
I'd be happy to arrange that for you. May I start by getting your name and contact information so Jordan can reach out to you? Let's begin with your full name.
Yeah, so this is a simulation of how you do that, and then it would walk through, gather my information, and if I had actually even given a calendar, it'd book an appointment with me.
Now I understand too that soon or now they can access the IDX so that they can have access to the real estate database.
So we're launching a integration with IDX for real estate agents. This is coming very soon. It's not available just yet, where you can actually connect this agent to certain properties that you have listed and featured. And that'll do through the IDX, which is an internet data exchange protocol that's used for basically the MLS listings. So you're going to get that and put that onto your website.
Could they do a search with it? Say, hey, I'm looking for a townhouse in under 800 square
This
feet
is the goal.
in the Abbotsford area?
This is the goal, right? So the way we'll start off our rolling is we'll first, have the agent be loaded with certain properties. So a lot of real estate agents feature certain properties and do that. So that's where we're going to start. I still feel that real estate agents don't want to leave, the complete searching experience to the agent, but one day that's going to happen. In fact, it probably happened this year, right?
That's amazing. And what else out there can real estate agents take advantage of these features?
So, like I said, we've done a couple of examples here. One is like somebody just calling from seeing an ad. Imagine they want to call and they want to find out information about, the property they purchased. Not just you could have the agent. We have a different number. That can be like a caretaker. Like you literally can create, David, for every customer that you have, because you can create unlimited agents, a dedicated number or dedicated web widget where they can ask any questions about the property. Oh, when is the move-in date again? What do you need from me? When do I need to have that done by? All of those kind of tailored information. You can create one for each one of your clients so that they can know that and they don't have to ask you those questions, right? And that saves you the time and the headache from having to deal with that, but it also helps them because they can call anytime they have a concern, right? Move-in date. Do I need to, be there at 9 a.m. or when are the keys being exchanged? All of that information.
So a frequently asked question list.
All of that, right? So it can help you with the actual, the experience of following up. We talked about the reputation management. We have something called the client follow-up here, which is a very easy outbound call that you can set up. We'll just call it follow-up, and you select that. And this is really cool because the way this works, follow-up with client, right? And let's say they just bought the property 12 Fintona Avenue. Click on that. Well, what I can do now is I can just call this person. I mean, I put it for one property, but we can do this in an automated fashion too. And the nice thing about this is that it's following up and it can ask a question like, how was your purchase? And then it can respond if the user says it was a great purchase. Fantastic. Would you mind leaving us a Google review? All right. And provide through a text message the actual link to the Google review on the call.
Yeah.
Really powerful. If they give feedback like it was an okay experience, maybe you want to send a survey. Same if they say it wasn't a positive experience, right? So you can send them a link to a survey and say, please help us get better, understand what we do. By the way, would you mind if we met with you and talked to you about your experience in person as well, right? So many different ways that you can enhance your relationship with the client.
Because with the follow-up, I find that everybody doing open houses, they do gather the information of everybody coming inside the house, right?
Yeah.
So this could follow up the next day. Hey, you were at my open house yesterday. I'm just reaching out to see if you have any questions about the property.
A common strategy that a lot of real estate agents will employ is they'll do this kind of like multi-offer kind of approach where they'll like hold all offers to a certain date, right? And they'll have an open house over the weekend and they expect to get the offers. Let's say you have like 5 or 6 interested people. You can now not have to like wait on that call. You can actually call them up and say, look, we're closing the offer now in the next 2 hours. Please make sure to provide your listing. And if they have any questions, they can also be transferred to that agent right away, right? So this gives you you get your real kind of pulse on like how interested people are and create demand, right? So there's a lot of tactics here you can use.
Oh, and also just the fact that someone is using this is setting them apart.
Oh yeah, 100%. Most of the progressive real estate agents that I work with adopt technology extremely fast. And they're able to make a huge difference because they're able to do that. Now, a lot of people say, how do I put my secret sauce into it? How do I I have my own way of doing it. I'm different than the other agent. Well, we have configurable fields where you can put in your own bespoke objection handling, your own bespoke gatekeeping. All of that you can provide to the systems to do that as well, right? And also, when you put the words into this, they're your words. It can sound like you. With that test feature, you can role play and really get it to sound exactly how you want it to sound. Right? It's really powerful.
Yeah. So now agents can go from never missing a phone call again.
Yep.
Right? Like with the receptionist, right? Really easy. They can have a smart website where not only it sets them apart from the other 20,000 websites out there,
Yes.
But it can also answer questions. It can gather the information of the person.
Correct.
Send that to you through an email. You can review all the recording and all that.
There's so many different things I can do. I can leave recording. So go ahead, David. I kind of cut you off there. Go ahead.
No, but I'm just looking at what the possibilities are, right? And now they can follow up after open houses. They can follow up to their whole database to say maybe they have a little Mother Day event coming up or something like this.
Yep.
Or, they can stay in touch with their circle of influence throughout the year without really doing a lot of phone calls themselves.
So there's kind of like a formula that a lot of agents will follow, right? So let's start with the very beginning, where you finally get somebody call in and they're a prospect of yours. They filled out, come to your website, they filled out some form. Maybe they've spoken to the web widget, you've gotten the information from them. That's a first touch point. Some of those people are going to be categorized and qualified. Some are going to be immediate buyers, right? Some of them might be even working with a different agent. And you can even on the call ask them, well, I've seen agents who are very, convincing of the additional value that they can provide to try to see if they want to work with them as well, right? So that's part of it. And you sometimes say, that's not worth my time. You can qualify them that way. So you're really not, spending time with people that aren't actively looking. But here's the thing. Then some of those people are like, I'm not looking now, but maybe in 3 to 4 months. The AI can classify them and then automatically call them back 3 to 4 months back. You don't have to remember that.
And if they don't know how to do it, the onboarding can help them with all that.
Absolutely, yeah, we help you set it all up. But the point is the systems that we're going to provide you is going to have that ability to do that and be able to easily set that up for you. We're doing that for all real estate agents to have that capability. That's called nurturing. And we also recommend creating regular email communication. Our system does that too. And then regular check-ins and say, how are things going? So after 3 to 4 months, it calls up and says, we talked, 3-4 months ago, just wanted to check up on you and have you now started to look? And they go, actually, great timing. Or they say, you know what, no, we're still not sure right now, it's not the right time. Again, you can tag them, classify them however you want to, and then the system just keeps them on. That ability gets you easily.
But you can also nurture your existing clients, right? You can say, hey, winter's coming up, let's send a quick follow-up to say, hey, time to winterize your outside faucet, whatever it is, right? And just give value all the time, just so that they know that, someone's thinking about them, right? And
the smartest real estate agents that I've dealt with always know that the lifetime value of a particular client isn't one transaction. It's not one and done. Right?
No, they have friends.
It's the multi-touch. It's the fact that I purchased a home that one day, maybe 3 years down the road or 5 years down the road, I might want to upgrade, right? Or even downsize. There's so many different things that happen in your life by being top of mind, by nurturing existing clients, not just prospects that you can do. All of that can be set up with the system. And the IDX integration is awesome because you can nurture people. We can create emails with newsletters that are pre-filtered and sends out the properties that you want to send out. You don't have to do that in a separate system now. You can do that within the same system.
And and a lot of people nowadays, we talked a little bit about this earlier, they feel more comfortable talking to not a person. So I'm thinking nowadays there's so much information for first-time home buyers, all the new programs in BC. And then so often real estate agents will do first-time home buyer seminars, which are great information, but the turnaround is very low. There's always just a few people that shows up, right? Now, if somebody could call this phone number anytime and learn all about the new programs, ask the stupidest of questions without feeling like they might sound like an idiot out there. This would be a great, especially on the web widget for a real estate agent.
It's such an awesome idea, David. I mean, literally, I'm going to probably go back this afternoon and do this and build this for all the real estate agents. Is there something that you can put onto your website that can answer first-time home buyers' questions? Mm-hmm. And then we can update based on regulations and go. The smartest thing that you can do is also, let's say there's a new, one of the questions I ask is, the interest rate just went down. What does that mean for me? Many people don't know, right? If they're looking, and you can proactively do that by sending out emails and newsletters and whatnot, but you can use voice AI to call people up as well that we're waiting on the fence and tells them, hey, the interest rate went down. Do you know what this means? And put all the information into the agent that can explain it to them.
Excellent.
Yeah.
So for people that are interested in learning more about all this, they listen to everything. For the people that sees the possibility, just like I did, when I looked, I dream about this. Like I have dreams about about all that's possible. It's just I'm so excited about all this, and I'm excited because I find that we're pretty much the only one doing it out there in my industry, right?
Yes.
So
You're ahead
I
of
feel
the curve.
happy about it, you know?
Yeah.
And so what's the first step here? Somebody's interested. Can they reach out to you?
Yes. To myself or to somebody on my team, you can go to our website, Thinkrr.ai. We have a contact us form. You can fill that out. You can go to, my email is mohan@thinkrr.ai, Thinkrr, THINKRR.ai. We have a number of people on my team that can help and take you through and talk to you about what you need to do. We can talk about how we can help you with that white glove service that you talked about to get started so you don't feel like you're left alone to figure all this out. And also we have many different types of plans that you can choose from, right? That we can help you choose which is the right plan for what you need. And honestly, the way I always recommend people to get started is first just try a few use cases. Get them working for you and then grow with us and we grow with you at the same time.
Because if somebody just wanted to have a receptionist on their phone, right?
Yeah.
Wouldn't that be your lowest package that does that?
It's a second package.
Okay.
For just on the phone you mean itself? Yeah, just the first one? Absolutely. You can create inbound receptionist. That's $39 American. All the time that you
Can you
use.
imagine, like for $40 a month,
Yeah.
now you will no longer miss any phone call ever.
Bingo.
You know, for real estate agent, that could be worth a lot of money.
A lot
I mean,
of
just even for us, even though our transaction is a lot, we charge a lot less for one job. Like we can save 10 jobs a month with this.
Yes.
But what I'm more interested, it's one of your higher package because it also includes the web widget. I mean, to me, I love the web widget because all I'm trying to do is bring traffic to our website, right? And I don't want all this traffic to have a million questions and call us after, right? Just get it handled right there on the website.
Yeah, so the package that I always recommend people to go with for the web widget is the $299 package. That gives you all of your integrations, the web widget, the inbound, the outbound, unlimited, and all of things. And truly allows you, if you have an existing website, to integrate it into your website. And we say, give your website a voice and a brain as well, right? And this changes everything from static conversation into dynamic conversation that's intelligent, and it's really easy to get started. Again, we handhold you if you want that as well. We have tons and tons of instructional videos, different outlets. We have also weekly webinars that you can come to where we talk about all of our new features and new launches. And we have office hours where you can come in. Our AI experts are available on the call and can help you troubleshoot anything that you need at the same time.
All right. So at the end of this video, I will leave a link so that they can just go directly from there. But I also have your contact information if anybody wants to contact you directly.
Absolutely.
And get started on this. There's so many possibilities. I think any, good real estate agents will see the value into something like this. Just the fact that itself you're set apart so much because, there's so many agents out there.
Yeah.
It's like...
Well, and I think, Dave, I really recognize what you're doing here and you're a great leader in the AI space. That's how I see you, somebody who's looking at this and understanding what it means for your business, but also for other people's businesses. And so as part of that, I think we should, have people, if they put down Inspect Canada and they tell us that they're coming from Inspect Canada, we'll have a special discount for them.
Awesome, that's amazing. All right, so I'm gonna throw a little information in the descriptions about this. We really appreciate it.
Yeah.
And because I'm thinking that they will see the value in it, and they should.
They should.
And also I will be creating some demos as well, especially about first-time home buyer information, all the programs. We have new programs in BC now that makes it a lot easier for first-time home buyers to get in the market, right?
And that's a great agent to create, right?
And it would take so long for a real estate agent to sit there and explain all of that. And many of them don't know everything about it.
Yeah.
Right? So I think this would be great value for agents. So I'm going to create demos. Always reach out to me. I can provide all this information, and then I will put all the links and everything else into the description. And first of all, again, thank you so much for taking the time to be with me today and letting real estate agent know about the possibilities with voice AI. And we haven't talked a little bit too much about it, but it can send text and it can send links and it can do all of that too. There's a whole lot more to talk about here about all this. And also, I don't want to keep going at it, but you guys are growing very fast, right?
Yes.
So every week there's some new features. It's like you said earlier, it's the worst it's ever gonna be every day, right? Because like every week there's like, hey, we added this and we added that. I mean, I can't wait. Me personally, the feature I'm looking for is I want my web widget to move to push people to pages on my website.
Oh, wow.
So that's the feature I'm looking for.
Yeah, it's absolutely coming. One of the things to keep in mind is like, it's always that shiny object syndrome, right? The next thing. But what's also really important to talk about is quality, making sure that you can rely on our system. We invest a lot of time in our voices. We really want our voices to be the most human-like conversations that you can have. And we spend a lot of time investing in that so that you don't need to worry about that aspect of it. And then yes, like David said, have a widget that can navigate them through their website or just show a better way of making sure you have confirmation of the right appointment. All of that is in the works and more. I can't tell you everything we're doing, but everything we do is available to everybody, and on like I think bi-weekly basis, we're launching new features all the time, David.
Yeah, you got an amazing team and everybody's been super awesome. So thank you so much.
Thank you, David.
And this is how we're going to end this podcast. Thank you for being there today. We really appreciate it.
Bye.